Hello one and all, and welcome to part 2 of this FM19 experiment where I saw if a championship club could win the Scottish Premier League. The answer in part 1 was no, but having taken on board some feedback from the Reddit forums and from another YouTuber called The Canal, whose content you should definitely go and check out. It's just called The Canal on YouTube. He's got a Leon beta save, and I think it's a... testing my memory here. It's a Queen's Park save as well, which is really interesting. Taking a small Glasgow club to the very top, hopefully. So good luck with that, Canel. But thanks for the feedback on the last video, and that's essentially why I've gone and done a part 2 to this one. And I'll explain a little bit more next. So the reason behind doing a part 2 of this experiment was that I felt the first video was a little bit short. I think it was only about 11 minutes long. Not only that, but I only done one season of Aston Villa being in the Scottish Premiership, so I don't feel that was a very fair test of whether they could win it or not, because obviously that was the first season, and you know, it wasn't likely that we were going to win it in the first season. So I think it was maybe a bit of a biased, you know, a bit of a biased situation really, in terms of Aston Villa being in the SPFL. Another interesting factor will be to see how far down Livingston get relegated, or you know, if they can bounce back up, if some money from the Championship can help them get back up into the Championship from League One. That remains to be seen as well. So that's another aspect of things that I wanted to kind of thrash out in part 2 of this episode. So my intention is to do 4 more seasons, because we've already done 1, so that'll be a total of 5 seasons to see if Aston Villa can win the SPFL. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get into it. So this was last season, and Celtic won the title comfortably, 12 points ahead of Aston Villa, but Aston Villa were well ahead of everybody else as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether Aston Villa can maintain that challenge going forward to Celtic, or whether they'll kind of drop off, and you know, that some of the players will start to leave for other Championship clubs, whether that's a more attractive league than the SPL. Maybe the fact that Aston Villa didn't actually get into the Europa League might have affected things in terms of attracting players. I don't know how the money situation will be affected, but I know that the prize money in the Scottish Premiership is actually pretty decent. If we take a look at the prize money, as in comparison to the Championship, that's a lot better. I don't think the Championship actually has any prize money, if I'm not mistaken. If we just take a look at the Sky Bet Championship. And we go on rules. No, so the prize money is 50,000 and 25,000 for second place, and a parachute payment of 120k. So that's nothing. I mean, I don't know if there's any other sort of income that Championship clubs can have, but I mean, that's a maximum of 170k. You know, and obviously with the prize of being in the Premier League, but and unless you get to the Premier League, that is not a massive income, and clubs obviously have to rely on the gate receipts and things. That's another thing. I mean, Aston Villa will have massive gate receipts as well to rely on. So I'm not sure what the attendances were. We could probably take a look at that information if we look at Aston Villa and go on the schedule of the senior squad and go back to this one. Take a look at their attendances. So that's yeah, they're the away games, but they got 40,000 at home in the Scottish Cup 5th round. Did they actually win the? No, they got knocked out to St Johnstone in the Scottish Cup semi-final. Yeah, that, you know, 40,000 there, 37, 35, 35. You know, they're getting really good home gate receipts. What's really interesting is that Celtic wasn't the top. It was the top Premiership game, but not the top game all in all. But then, you know, the likes of St Mirren and Hearts before Rangers is quite interesting. But yeah, they're getting massive gates for this league, so you know, that should help them financially. Obviously, they've got players on massive wages, those in comparison to the other clubs in the league as well. So that obviously will have an impact. But it looks as though, you know, they've got some youngsters in there, the like of Jake Doyle Hayes. There was some others as well that I'd noticed. This guy, he's leaving. Corey Blackett Taylor from Slipknot, reference there. But yeah, they've looks like they've kind of, you know, Callum O'Hare, Keenan Davis is in there. You know, it looks like they've kind of lined Jacob Bedo, kind of lined the squad with youngsters as well. So that might ease the burden on the wage stuff. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the summer transfer window as well. So I think what I'll do is I'll simulate another year, see what sort of transfer business have done, if they've managed to win the league this year, if they've fallen off any, because Celtic will obviously continue to strengthen as well, which is a worry. So we'll see if Aston Villa can actually make some decent signings and potentially, you know, win the league. That is essentially what the aim of the game was. The aim of the experiment was to see if Aston Villa can win the league. So let's do it. Right then, so here we are at the end of the second season, and Aston Villa still haven't managed to win the Scottish Premiership. Very much the same as last season, except the gap between Aston Villa and Rangers, or the teams below second, is much closer. So Aston Villa there, still 12 points behind. Celtic seem to have widened the gap in terms of goal difference and games won and lost. Let's just take a look through some of the things that have happened. So the player stats, obviously Aston Villa didn't have Tammy Abraham this season to fall back on for goals. So Alfredo Morelos takes that mantle. We've got Conor Hourihane's up there for assists. Average rating, nobody up there. This Michael Ngajui. Wow. Yeah, he looks decent though. He came from Slavia Prague for 2.6 million. Looks a good centre back. Getting up there on the average rating. It's nice to see a centre back on the average ratings section, really. But yeah, Aston Villa still haven't managed to overthrow Celtic in this season. Should we take a look at some of their transfer history this season? If you take a look, so if you look at this season and all transfers, you can see that they've only brought in loans, and they have sold £23 million worth of players. They've sold Andre Green for £20.5 million to Huddersfield. That is insane. So Andre Green went to Huddersfield for £20.5 million and played 3 times and got a 6.3 average rating. Magnificent son. £20.5 million for a player of Andre Green's quality. I mean, it's a bit. It's not very good because I haven't put the disabled player attribute masking thing on, so that I can't see his stats. But I mean, he might be really good, but £20.5 million, potentially rising to 30.5. But what's interesting is that Aston Villa have received £23.5 million in players. So Albert Doma's gone, Birkir Bjarnason's gone, the Icelandic warrior, a few players out on loan. But the fact that they're not buying anybody for money says to me that they're operating on a massive loss. Now, should we actually have a look and see if the finances are where can we view that? Okay, finances. So they're not. It doesn't look like they're in any sort of financial trouble. Dean Smith's the manager, but yeah, it just seems as if they're just not buying anybody. I don't know what's going on there. They're just not buying any players. But take a look at the squad. So Matti Isakic and Örjan Nyland are the goalkeepers. Nyland's obviously the first choice there, but they've got some youngsters in there as well. Mitch Clark, I wonder if he's an Aston Villa youth product, the same as Jacob Bideau, although he's not actually, because he came from Bury and he's played a few times and not done very well at all. Dave McGee is another one. He's actually a regen. He's been on loan at Ayr this season, but yeah, he's a youngster. Might be decent in the future. Ayr were in the Scottish Premiership, by the way. I know they're winning the Championship in real life. Ahmed El Mohammadi is transferring. He's joining Akhmat. Is that a Russian club? Yeah, it's a Russian club. Thought so. So Ahmed El Mohammadi is going to Russia. So that's going to be another player gone. James Chester's still there. James Bree, very good right back. He's wanted by Cardiff. Neil Taylor's transfer listed. Henry Lansbury's still there. John McGinn is still there. Thought he got away from the Scottish Premiership when he went to Aston Villa, but he hasn't because he's still there. But yeah, let's have a look at the goal scorers. Wow, oh no. Yeah, Russian Hepburn Murphy has been on loan at Scunthorpe and banged in 23 goals. Scott Hogan is injured and got 11 goals. Callum O'Hare, another Aston Villa youth product. That's another thing. Aston Villa should produce some decent regens going forward, so that'll be interesting to see. Dimitri C. It was weird. In terms of assist, obviously we saw that Jack Grealish is still there. He is wanted, however, by Bournemouth for a transfer, but he's still there. He's still going for Aston Villa in the SPL, or SPFL as it's known now. But he's done very well in his time in Scotland, hasn't he? Let's be honest. But yeah, Aston Villa still not getting into the Europa League, which must be because of the fact that they're English. Maybe something I could change in the in future experiments and doing this kind of thing. Change the continent. Which continent they get into Europe from. Not which continent, which country rather. One thing to check, obviously, this season we want to see how Livingston got on. and they are in League One, so they perhaps didn't get relegated. No, they didn't. Livingston done okay. Livingston done all right. Livingston are 13th in League One. That is a really good achievement, considering how far away they were in the Championship, how cut adrift at the bottom. That's quite a good achievement. I think that's brilliant. Let's have a look at some of the players that they've managed to bring in. If we look at the transfer history, so they've spent 29k. They've managed to get a 500k in transfers, which is pretty decent. I mean, Steve Lawson's got Lausanne Sport. He's Togolese. He's got Lausanne for 375k. I think is it Lausanne? I think it's Lausanne with the money, isn't it? With the sugar daddy owner. I think that's Lausanne. But they picked up some decent players. The likes of Shane Harrison from Tottenham, good youngster at one point. See if he's had a decent season at Livingston. No, he scored 1 goal in 19 games. So no, he's a striker as well. But take a look at Livingston's squad. Let's see who's got all the goals for them this season. I mean, they haven't scored a great deal of goals. It's Oliver Sarkic on loan from Leeds who's got them 8 goals. But I just can't believe how well they've done. It might be the defence that's been. I mean, if you take a look at average rating, central midfielders, centre backs are up there. Alan Lithgow, players like that. Who was already at Livingston. Excellent stuff. I'm just Joe Lasoro on loan. That's a really good signing. On loan from Swansea. Former Sunderland man, but Livingston managed to survive in League One, and can they build and push for a playoff spot and get back into the Championship? I'm really surprised actually that they've managed to stay up in League One, considering how cut adrift they were in the first season. If we look at the Championship and we go on stages, look at last season. If we look at the league table, Livingston were way off. They were 21, but they only won 3 times. 21 points off Bolton, but they seem to have really picked themselves up and done well this season. Excellent stuff. I like that. So Aston Villa not managed to win the league in the second season. Let's do a third season now. Okay, so we're back for the third season, and as you can see on screen, Aston Villa still haven't managed to win it and still haven't managed to overthrow the might of Celtic. It doesn't look like anybody's going to in this series, or in all honesty. I think this is the last season that I'm going to do for now. I think I'll go on to I'll put the next 2 seasons in part 3, and it'll be a nice little 3-part series there, I think. But and see, Aston Villa are even further behind this season. If we take a look at the table, you see, they are 28 points behind Celtic. Now that is 1, good mental maths from me, and 2, a massive gap. So if we go on to the stages and take a look at what happened in the previous seasons. So in the first season, the gap was 12 points. And it was 12 points again, and this time it's 28 points. So you can see it's massive. The gap between Aston Villa and the clubs behind them is shortening again. It was 7 points in the second season, and now it's only 3 between them and Hearts. Rangers still haven't managed to make a concerted push towards the title or even towards second. But Aston Villa have consistently finished second. I wonder if Dean Smith's still the manager. He is. They currently don't have a vice captain, so it looks as if Tommy Elphick's gone. We'll have a look at the transfer history this season, and they haven't brought in any players whatsoever. I don't know why this is. I don't know why they're just not bringing in players. It's very, very strange. They only brought in loans last season and absolutely no investment this season either. It's really, really odd. So they're going to have pretty much the same team. It's just that they haven't had anybody loaned out, it looks like, this season. Take a look at the positions. So it's still Sarkic and Nyland, and they've still got the likes of Mitch Clark, Bedeau, Dave McGee, who's become a regular at the club after coming through the youth ranks for one of Aston Villa's regens. He's got some under-21 caps for England, which is excellent. He looks like he could be a decent player. Again, I wish I'd put the disabled player attribute mask on, because he looks like a really good player, and I can't tell, without taking over Aston Villa, I can't tell how good he actually is. But he's played 28 times in the league this season, scored a goal and got an assist and a Player of the Match award. Dave McGee looks like a really good player. He's wanted actually as well by Blackburn and Crystal Palace. So again, he looks a very good player. And this guy is wanted. He's actually transferring to Tottenham on the 9th of the 6th, 2022. This guy Walid Munir Mohammed. Again, I can't tell how good he is, but he's obviously pretty decent if he's joining Tottenham. Capped at under 20 level for England again. So the Aston Villa are producing some really good regens. If they can keep hold of them, they've got a real chance of winning the league in years to come. Neil Taylor is still there despite being transfer listed in the last season. James Bree still there. Chester, Lansbury, McGinn, Hourihan, Jake Doyle-Hayes again is still there. He's wanted by Motherwell for a transfer. He's got 1,821 caps for Ireland. It's decent, like 5 goals as well. Aaron Shibala is still there. Who else have we got? So Jack Grealish is still there as well. He's still going. He's still wanted. Everton and Watford this time, trying to secure his signature. But you see, Rushy and Hepburn Murphy has banged in the goals this season. 18 goals this season in 38 games, I think that is. 30 games, he's got 16 goals. That is excellent. He got 16 in League One and then 16 in much less games. He's obviously had some brilliant development as young Rushy Hepburn Murphy. You can see he's finishing and dribbling, looks decent there. He's wanted by Blackburn again. So I don't know whether they're in the Championship or whether they're in the Premier League, but no, they're still in the Championship. But it looks actually as if they might. Oh, they actually got promoted from the Championship into the Premier League and got relegated. And it looks as though they might have got promoted again. Yes, they have been promoted again. West Ham absolutely smashed that league. Felipe Santander playing for Sheffield United, former Copenhagen striker. But yeah, I mean, look, Blackburn have got some really... Do you know Espirito Santo is the manager of Blackburn? I love this kind of stuff on Football Manager. I mean, let's have a look at their strong. They've got Samu Saiz, the Leeds player. Bailey Peacock-Farrell, the Leeds player. Neil Etheridge, the current Cardiff goalkeeper. Gary Cahill, Lamine Kone, Gaetan Bong, Gino Peruzzi. Some really, established Premier League players. Who else have we got here? Got Izzy Brown from Chelsea. Scott Sinclair from Celtic. That's crazy. I suppose we better take a look at Celtic actually as well to see what their team is looking like. But Aston Villa, I mean, they're just not buying any players. I don't understand why they're not buying anyone. I just don't get it. If you know why that Aston Villa aren't buying any players in the transfer market, please let me know, because I'm just at a loss as to why they're just not investing any money into the squad whatsoever. Maybe they don't have any money. I just don't know. But that £23 million from the sale of Andre Green and co must have brought some money in, you would have thought. But the fact that they're not bringing in any players and they still managed to finish second year in, year out is absolutely brilliant stuff. Conor Hourihan with a mass of assists. John McGinn's had a really good season. Codger's been decent as well. And as Jack Grealish has probably expected, Callum O'Hare's still getting some goals for them as well. He's wanted by Celtic actually for a transfer, so I'd be interested to see if players go between them. But it's just very, very strange how Aston Villa aren't buying any players. They finished second both seasons, all 3 seasons rather. Scott Hogan's actually transfer listed as well, which is very strange. But we'll take a quick look at Celtic before we go and have a look at their team. So they've got Renan, I think, who was at Napoli. Was he at Napoli? Am I thinking of the right guy? No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all. He's at Ludogorets actually, but he looks a decent goalkeeper. Although I can't really say that without looking at him. But he's got no caps for Brazil, 620 caps, and they've got Scott Bain as well, who's still there. 34-year-old Paraguayan centre back. They've got some strange players here. Jordan Thornley, who's that? Sheffield Wednesday youngster, or Accrington Stanley. Sheffield Wednesday youngster, looks decent. Look at these South Americans galore. You've got Ezequiel Scalotto, Pablo Aguiar, Guillermo Maripan, and Michael's still there as well. This guy who was really good. He's unhappy though, wanted by Cardiff. A Swiss guy. Sylvan Hefty wanted by Watford, must be a decent player. Patrick Van Aanholt's there. Nikolai Boyleson, the former Ajax wonderkid who never really fulfilled his potential and just went back to Copenhagen. I think he had some bad injuries, did Boyleson. Kellen Acosta, who's an American player, played against England in a recent friendly. Got 43 caps for America. Colorado Rapids regular. Still managed to keep hold of Callum McGregor. Who else have we got? Anybody who stands out? John Proudy must be he's a regen. Celtic do produce some good regens. I've done some saves with Celtic. Armstrong Oko Flex. Wow, what a name! That is quality. He's a real player. 3 caps for Ireland. Armstrong Oko Flex. That's crazy. Started out at Arsenal actually. Went to Celtic on a free and has played in the Scottish Premiership for Hibs and Hearts over the past couple of years. Anybody else that stands out really? Victor Fisher, the former Middlesbrough man. Sebastian Szymanski, who's a good young Polish player, worth £16 million. He's wanted by Blackburn as well. Blackburn just want everybody, don't they? Paid £8.5 million for him. He's had a really good stint in the Scottish Premier League. Tom Rogic is still there. They've signed Guido Corrijo, Smile Prveljak from Bosnia, and Mikey Johnston's still there as well. He signed a new deal with Celtic in real life just recently. He's wanted by Aston Villa on loan, so it's nice to see that they're actually looking to loan some players. But it doesn't look like the dominance of Celtic is going to be ended anytime soon. We will give Aston Villa the chance in part 3 to rectify that and to win that. See if they can go on and win the league, or can another team? Can Hearts or Rangers do it? One thing I'm going to have to look at before we go is obviously the Sky Bet League 1, to look at where Livingston, see if they actually finished anywhere decent. Yeah, they finished 12th again, another mid-table finish, very, very similar to last season. Excellent stuff from them. I'm really pleased for them, to be honest. They just, they're hanging on in there. They've got quite a few English players these days, but they are hanging on in there, and well, they're not even hanging on, but they're just, they're actually finishing mid-table in League One, which is absolutely crazy. Really, considering how far, like I say, in the first season they were adrift. They've become a very well-established League One side, which I'm just really, really pleased about. So yeah, I mean, that'll do it for episode 2 or part 2 of this little experiment. Like I say, it was after some feedback from a couple of people around the community, letting me know sort of how I could improve it, and this is why the part 2 and part 3 are going to be included in this. So thanks everybody for watching now. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do drop me a like, comment, subscribe. If you have got any feedback for me, just let me know. I'll definitely respond to you. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching now. Bye bye.